Yo, 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 what is good people? I hope all of you are in good health and good spirits. Excuse me. I just want to speak on something real fast. It's not going to be a long pod. It's going to be a quick one. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on something real fast. And maybe some people will get offended and some people will understand. But, you know, after hearing all the jargon, virtual signaling, and all this other stuff about this story, about two women playing basketball, it reminds me of a same narrative that got pushed back in the day between two players. And if you're not aware of who I'm talking about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Similar narratives, right? You know, Michigan State versus Indiana back in the day, same narratives playing out all over again between basketball players. And what I do understand is that this country, what it does best, what is forever known for, in my opinion, is race baiting, just putting people against each other, right? Now, if you look at the sporting apparatus that we all, that we all watch and listen to, pundits and commentators, they are a part of the problem, right? If you sit back and you listen to the rhetoric leading up to the game, leading up to what transpired after the game, where you had one female being built up as Larry Bird, and another female built up as Magic Johnson, right? You know, this country is forever known for race baiting. And what I will say to that is, why is it happening? Right? You got Caitlin Clark. Ugh, can't talk this morning. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, both of them phenomenal players, been phenomenal all year, right? What's gonna get you to click on that video feed? What's gonna get you to turn your TV on and watch? Race baiting, right? Good versus bad, narratives being spun. You know, if anybody got blamed for this, you could say it's the sports media in general. Because it always has to be a good guy. It always has to be a bad guy. Or it has to be a David versus Goliath. Right? It's always seemed the case, right? And then you have these people that after something happened, they jump on a story, make it even worse than it is. Everybody's virtual signaling and race baiting. You know, there is a hypocrisy going on. It is a hypocrisy, right? You got one female, Caitlin Clark, who's been kicking people's butt, showing a little disrespect when she do it, right? And then you got Angel Reese come out and say, I'm not feeling what you did, so I'm gonna give you a piece of your own medicine, right? And the world gets into an uproar. Racial lines are being drawn in the sand, in the ground, on the court. You see how you could be melodramatic with this stuff, people, to make it a lot more serious than what it is, right? The sound of people's voice can make you believe certain narratives, right? When you have two girls that play good all year, it has to be a loser. It has to be a winner, and it has to be a loser, right? But what does this country do best? Create racial tensions, because people are, for the most part, stuck in the past, not really paying attention to what they really need to be paying attention to. So this comes in a form of distraction. This here, in my opinion, is one of the highest forms of distraction that people in power enjoy. This is one of the biggest distractions, and it should not be one. But to me, it's bait and switch. It's more of the same. When it's a whole lot of crap going on, to get people unfocused, something racial has to occur. You have jokers that come online all the time and show racial things. One side trying to own the other and say, look. The biggest problem, in my opinion, is the media that we consume. See, people, because if they don't sensationalize stuff, nobody will want to watch it. Or if they do watch it, it's because they devout fans of a certain sport. But the casuals ain't gonna watch. So they got to drum it up and sell it to people. At the same time, creating these racial tensions, right? Because that girl, the Caucasian female, Caitlin Clark, was doing all kind of trash talking in the tournament. Showing blatant disrespect to her opponents, right? And people were like, she got some swag and she's the next, well, she's the female version of Steph Curry, and giving her all these accolades, right? And then the sister, Angel Reese, gave her a piece of her own medicine. And everybody get their panties in a bunch. Oh, she's classless. She's not worthy of anybody's admiration or kind words, because she gave her a piece of her own medicine, right? Now, I took my time talking about it because I want all the jargon to get out the way before I say what I have to say about it, right? And again, it goes back to what I was talking about. Distractions. The only thing this country can really lay its hat on and say, yeah, we're great at something, is creating racial tension. Because if you are anywhere in the know and know what's going on, it's a lot of stuff going on that you really should be paying attention to. But what gets everybody distracted? Racial shit. People in power want us always to be coming at each other along racial lines because that's the only form of power that they have over us. Excuse me. The only form of control. If you make the masses mad at each other, they'll never be mad at us. Right? You know, when racial tensions happen, in some cases, it's warranted to talk about it, speak on it, make a big deal about it. Because what's right is right and wrong is wrong. And it's one thing to speak even on this. And that's why I waited till the smoke clears. And then I'm going to speak on it. I had a viewer tell me, hey, man, you speak on things like this sometime while you ain't say nothing about this. So I'm basically doing it for them because I listen to my viewers. But if we keep falling into these landmines, these traps, that the only thing these elite people have left is to keep us separated, not along racial lines, along class lines, right? If we keep allowing these people to keep devolving us as people and go right back to the most caveman-like thinking, this stuff will continue to be perpetrated because they don't have nothing left. People are not really listening to online news, to the mainstream news anymore. You got guys making their own sports podcasts so they can counter the narratives of the main social norms that we've been accustomed to, the same talking heads that have been in the game for 50 years, still spinning the same narratives from freaking 1980s with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. These people aren't evolving fast enough. These people that a lot of people hold in high esteems that can't take criticism themselves any longer. You got people, mainstream pundits and sports talk people, and complaining about, oh, there's a guy in his house. He don't know what he's talking about because went to school, or I have went to school for journalism and communications, and these people's opinions aren't valid. because they doing it from their house or they doing it from a studio, but they're not ESPN. They're not Fox Sports. When all these narratives start to get debunked, and they feel the heat coming on from regular folk, and that's in establishment media, establishment, anything. When they feel heat from regular people, what they do, they start to create narratives so they can keep themselves relevant. That's why you got all these people from mainstream news and mainstream sports shows coming online with their, because they know that's where the people are. So now they got to bring all the crap they was doing on TV to control the masses. They trying to bring it online to control the masses, perpetuating these racial tensions. Because this is the only form of control they have left. When we are out here countering the narratives that these fools keep spilling, what will they have left? When they can't keep drumming up racial tensions and people really start to think along class lines or things that's actually affecting them, then what will they do? What will they do, good people? You know, after a great game by the LSU Tigers, Lady Tigers, beating Iowa, it's like a woe is me kind of feeling came across some folks. Oh, Iowa lost. I feel sorry for her. But in every sport in America, there's always a championship game. There's always a winner and loser. And the winner goes to the White House. Since when do the runner-up goes to the White House? Where do they do that at? The other problem we have in this country, especially along the sporting lines, but it do invade other aspects of life, is everybody get a freaking trophy. Everybody get a trophy. You wonder why we got so many soft people in the world today, because they giving out participation awards. If you lose, you go home, you train, and you get better. You don't get rewarded for failure. But in this society today, they want everybody to get a trophy. And a lot of people get a trophy for doing absolutely nothing. So since when in any sport did the runner-up go to the White House? And why? Did the first lady think it was okay to say, I think they both played good? I think they both should come. If you, this is how you know she's not really a sports fan. because she should know that that's never had happened before. And maybe it wasn't good for her without talking to the right people to see what they say. Everybody's reactionary, right? Because it's race involved. Right? When Larry Bird lost to Magic, did Larry Bird get to go to the freaking White House? No. It didn't work like that. It's never worked like that. So why all of a sudden now Iowa gets to go to the White House? And why don't you think this ain't something? Let's put on my conspiracy theory hat, right? Why wouldn't we think that this is not by design? When you got all this other crap going on, got to give something people to be mad at each other over so they won't look over here. Bring some racial shit up. And everybody jumps on it. Everybody want to own each other. I got you. I got you. People, I'm going to say this for the last time. Like outwardly said. I'm going to say it, I'm sure, again, but if we as a people keep worrying about racial shit, notice I said as a people, we keep worrying about this racial stuff while everything is being stolen away from you underneath of you, your rights being eroded, wars and rumors of wars being started, and we still stuck on this racial shit when it's always and always will be bigger fish to fry. This country is going to eat itself. It's already happening. And I said this before, these exact words. It's already happening. Is it warranted to be talked about? Absolutely. The hypocrisy. Why Angel Reese can't do the same thing Caitlin Clark did. Absolutely, it's something to be talked about. But for it to be change involved, you talk about it and then say, how do we fix it? Nobody's talking about how we fix it. They only talk about how this was messed up and how this was messed up. Nobody talks about how do we fix it or who are the main culprits. Because it's been built up, folks. And this playbook has already been ran before when you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Because see, there's one thing about those people and what they do is they really don't change. They use the same plays all the time, create racial tension. The sports media is guilty of that. But that's not getting talked about. They just want to talk about the players. But they don't want to talk about how the sports media stoke these fires and keep them burning. If they don't got us on racial lines, racial hatred of each other, They lose all their control because then people going to focus on the real issues, which are class, inequity between rich and poor, the people that come out and talk about how the races should still be split up are ignorant. Because in 2023, it makes no sense when there are bigger fish to fry. Heck, hell, pay attention and stop playing with me. We got to wake up, people. So many people, pundits, talk about woke culture. Oh, woke is bad. No, 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 no. That's the narrative they want to spin, good folks. That's another narrative they spin. You say something bad enough, people believe it. But being woke is knowing what's going on around you. It don't belong to any race. It don't belong to any ethnicity. It don't belong to any culture. Being woke is knowing who hurting you and why. Knowing what's going on around you politically, socially, and economically. That's what woke is. They turned it into something else. Wokenisms, all kinds of adjectives, pronouns, and nouns and verbs, hyperbole associated with the word woke. When all it is being aware of what's going on economically, socially, and politically. Knowing who's hurting you. That's what woke is. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah. I want to say congratulations to the LSU Lady Tigers on their victory and winning the national championship. Congratulations to Iowa. What I would say to Angel Reese, and I hope if she ever sees this, that she don't take this personally. But don't allow yourself to be a racial pawn. What I would say to Caitlin Clark, don't allow yourself to be a racial pawn. So these forces can keep their propaganda going, keeping us against each other. Because at the end of the day, all these folks are doing is benefiting off of this. That's why I didn't even want to talk about it. But like I said, one of my viewers asked me to speak on it. So this is what I got for you. This is what I have for all of you. I wish nothing but peace, blessings, and love to all of you. Peace to you all on your journey. Stop playing and pay attention. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer has always been in the powerful playbook. Divide and conquer will take your eyes where they don't need to be. Have your ears listening to a bunch of shit that don't make sense. And like I always say, if you are still a racist in 2023, you are ignorant. And you're a waste of space and time. Because nobody got time for that bull crap. And this is definitely not the space for it. You need to keep your attention on what is affecting you personally and the people that surround you. And look at what really it is. Because I don't believe none of us that live under the median income in this country, which is a whole lot of people, should be sitting here hating somebody else for the color of their goddamn skin. Okay, good people, I don't want to hold you. That's all I got. Stay blessed by the best. And don't mess with the rest. Stop playing. This has been your Don't Listen podcast. Abso-freaking-lutely. We are still in the building. Stop playing. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace. I'm out.